Hi, this is David Armstrong with another edition of our Musical Theater Factory vlog, and I have two wonderful guests with us today, our director and our choreographer for our brand new production of Damn Yankees, Mark Hoebee and Denis Jones.
Hello. Hello.
So how is it going, guys? Tell us about, we call this the Musical Theater Factory because we have so much activity happening here all the time. So give us a little sense of what's happening this week in the process.
Well, we're in previews, as you know. We had a couple of performances this weekend, which went extremely well after our rehearsal period. And, you know, we discover new things every time an audience sees the show, as you are well aware of. And so today, right after this, we're going to rehearse to fine-tune, change some things, you know, clean up some choreography, some scene work, and really respond to what the audience told us over the weekend.
So you'll rehearse 5 hours today, and then we'll do a show tonight. You'll do the same thing tomorrow, do a show tomorrow night, rehearse again on Thursday, and have opening nights.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot. It takes a lot of dedication and energy from the cast, for sure.
So talk about the cast a little bit, because it's an interesting... Mark is the artistic director at the Paper Mill Playhouse in New Jersey, which is one of our great partners. We've partnered with them on many shows over the years.
Yeah.
And the part of the excitement of this project is that we get to do this co-production, and we've intermingled cast members who also appeared in the New Jersey production,
right,
and with now new people that have been added to the mix.
Right. That's been, I think, the best part of it for us, I think, is that we ran the show for 4 weeks at Paper Mill. You know, we had a whole rehearsal process there, played to audiences there who are different in many ways.
They had a big hit there, big success.
Very, very successful. Great reviews. It was really terrific.
Yeah.
But we got a chance to revisit it. We brought 6 people. We shared 6 people.
6 cast members.
Yeah. That we had sort of agreed upon early on. And then got a whole new crew of Seattle-based people here, which has been really exciting. The cast has been terrific. We have a new Applegate, who is, at least the devil, Hans, who is just terrific, and brought a whole new energy to that role and the show in a different way than Howard McGillen, who did it for us, who was spectacular too. And it's just been great to have, I think, kind of, for me, a second chance to look at the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you know this as well. You get a show up, you work as hard as you can.
You do everything you can get done, but there's always a few things you never get to.
Or there's things that you see and you go, if I only had a chance, I would change that.
Yeah.
For a million reasons.
Yeah.
And so this has been incredible for us to, we had a little time off, week or so. And
between the two productions.
Yes. Yeah. And then went back into rehearsal, and we've fine-tuned, changed, and shifted around a bunch of stuff. And, you know, really sculpted a couple things specifically for Seattle, and not just for the new cast members, but also for the audience.
So you mentioned the audience was different between New Jersey and here.
Very
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, not to say anything against the New Jersey audience, because they were wonderful.
They're
people
wonderful.
Who were very supportive and stuff, but the support here in Seattle is just a little more audible.
Yeah.
To me, sitting amongst them, and to the actors on stage. I mean, this audience seems to be unafraid to join the party.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right from the jump.
Interactive in a really good way.
In a really good way, full of energy, and I think the cast really responds to that, and certainly the folks that we brought from New Jersey have been really very, excited about that kind of response and that kind of interplay with the audience. It's a great audience you have here. It's wonderful.
What's fun, too, is that, and surprising in a good way, is that certain things that we thought were surefire hit laughs and played every night in Paper Mill don't go over at all here. And then there are other things that we didn't expect to be as funny, which are huge, uproarious laughs here. So, and you can never tell why that is.
Well, partly it's a combination of the people doing it, the performers changing and different, and the audience having different perspectives.
Exactly. I think it's a different perspective of, a lot of the audience members we have in New Jersey are also New York audiences, and they tend to be a little more reserved, a little more sort of as opposed to laughing out loud. I don't know why that is. But
I don't either.
But this audience is terrific. They're just they tell you when they love it.
So when people come to see Damn Yankees, what are they going to see?
Well, they're going to see a lot of sexy dancing and and terrific athletic choreography. It's great humor. It's a big splashy, old style musical comedy. from sort of the golden era, the end of the golden era of musical comedy. Great music. The band is incredible. The orchestra and the arrangements by Bruce Monroe are amazing. The minute the overture starts, we get excited every time. It sounds thrilling. So great. And it's a great evening of just family entertainment, really, really. I mean, and spectacular choreography.
Well,
really amazing dance.
There are a couple of steps.
No.
Well, talk about this as a show. When you got the call to say you wanted to do Damn Yankees, as a choreographer, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, I didn't really know the show that well. I knew a lot of the music from it, and you know, I've collaborated with Mark on a number of projects, so any call from him is a great call to get. But no, I was very excited to do it. I mean, obviously, you know, Bob Fosse did the original, and, you know, Bob Fosse is Bob Fosse, so there's something a little daunting about reapproaching material that has been really, you know, sort of done by the master. So, you know, it's kind of out of respect for the original, I didn't look at any of it. Do you know what I mean? Because it just kind of gets under your skin, and then it just sort of makes your process tricky. So really, out of great respect to Bob Fosse, I just didn't look at any of it. And just kind of, you know, spent time with Mark talking about the show and reading it and listening to the music and let it sort of get under my skin and then sort of see what happens. And it's fun, too, just talking about having a new cast here, because most of the ball players here are Seattle-based actors, and it's really fun sort of coming up with choreography and not feeling like you have to actually just set it on people, but you can kind of discover it with them, because it's a different team of ball players that we have here. They're wonderful guys, but it's, you know, it's a different group, and so kind of discovering this choreography with them and like playing to their strengths and stuff has been really very exciting and great. Just the, you know, the opportunity to reapproach something so soon after doing it. To have another go at it. And
to have a roadmap.
And to have a roadmap, but like not be afraid to kind of veer from it. It's been great.
The other thing I was going to say the other thing, just dovetailing on what Denis was saying about the whole Bob Fosse thing, is we very specifically did not look at the revival tape, did not source any material visuals. I didn't watch the movie because we went back to the original script, the 1955 version, and we really wanted to not be sort of biased by those things. So not in design, not in performance, not in choreography, which actually was very freeing, because then we were just looking at the words on a page and the music on a score and saying, you know, what are we going to come up with for that?
What I love when the director does, is what we sort of our style here at the Fifth Avenue, 9 times out of 10, is pick up the script like it was just written yesterday.
Yeah.
And say, if I forget any received information about it, this is a brand new show, what would we do with it?
Right.
And I think you guys have done a terrific job with that.
Thanks.
Before we finish, I want to touch on one of the unusual things about this show is you have a dancing star. You have a star role written for a dancer.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen, especially a lot these days.
Very rarely these days. Yeah. Those vehicles for dancing stars just don't really exist so much anymore. Yeah, and we've really found a gem in Chrissy Whitehead, because I think she does everything well. I mean, and her dancing is just really spectacular. I mean, when she kicks her legs, it's just like it's amazing.
When she walks out on stage.
Yeah, when she walks out on stage,
her entrance
gets I mean, just physically, she's so remarkable.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's nice to play with.
Wanted to have that showcase as a choreographer where you know that your work's going to be at the center of the show in a way that sometimes it isn't. But,
right. But the other thing that's I think a kind of mistake about this role is people think that it's a dancer, and she absolutely has to be a dancer, but she must be a comedian.
She has to be.
That's the key. She has to be everything. She has to sing, dance, act, and be funny. It's like impossible to find somebody like that. So yeah, we have a great cast. I mean, Chrissy's spectacular. Hans is amazing. This young Joe Hardy that we found, Christopher Charles Wood, is spectacular. Really, like stepped out of the 1950s and is wonderful. And
of course, Patty Kohnauer.
Patty is amazing. Patty, we are so lucky. She came from you guys to us, did the paper mill leg, and just was so loved by the audience. And you know, it's an odd relationship, because Joe, you know, turns young, and
the love story is between an older woman and a younger man.
Right, a 22-year-old kid, and you know, his former wife, who's still in her years, and she's spectacular, the warmth she brings to it, and just, you know, her voice is amazing.
Well, we could go on and on, but we'll spare you that. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on our Musical Theater Factory. Thanks, guys.
Come see the show.
Yeah, see ya.